Oh, there we are. Oh, yeah, there we are.
Yeah, there we go. All right. All right, everybody. Hey, how you doing? I'm Silverback, host of Gorillas and Guns. Tonight, obviously, you see our buddy Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms, and as always, Tivan with the TIVANshow, and we have Philip Van Cleve, the president of the Virginia Citizens Defense League. They're a pro Second Amendment organization here in Virginia, and they do a lot of good stuff fighting for our Second Amendment rights. So check them out if you get a chance. They're at the vcdl.org on the interwebs. So, here's Philip, and let's hear a little bit about your organization. Oh, sorry.
Real quick, I had everything muted, so welcome to the podcast. We the people right here on Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded. Got myself, the TIVANshow, Gorillas and Guns, Philip, and we've got Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms.
Right,
okay, Gorillas. This is Philip. Hey, everybody. Hey, rookie mistake. I haven't streamed in like
2 days.
a month.
And now I forgot everything I just said, so I'm just going to wing it in.
Well, I got that part.
Okay, all right. Well,
I got that part.
Look, now I'm getting the notification.
There it is. Hey, real quick, E-Rock, what's up? Clover Tech, Watchdog, Music Lover, Patrick, what's up? Psycho 316. There's Safety Harbor Firearms right there in the comments, and Gorillas and Guns. Make sure you click on their name. It'll take you over. Make sure you subscribe to them, guys. All the links are down there in the description below. Also, there's a new link to Big Daddy Unlimited with a special thing from the TIVANshow. Click on that, buy the membership, access to Big Daddy and Guns, and you can save a lot of water bucks.
Right on.
All right. So sorry. Go ahead, dear Gorillas.
All right, so our first guest is Philip Van Cleve. He's the president of the Virginia Citizens Defense League, which is a pro 2A organization here in Virginia. They do a lot of good stuff fighting for our Second Amendment rights here in Virginia. So let's talk a little bit to Philip and see how their organization works.
Okay, well, we were formed way back in end of '94. Back in those days, Virginia was a May issue state. So a judge could turn you down for a permit for any reason. Oh, and they got to keep your $100 application fee, even if they turned you down. Imagine that, going in a store and they say, well, we appreciate your money, but we're not going to sell you anything. So right out of the box, we fixed that. We became a shall issue state back then. Actually, the Democrats controlled the House and the Senate back then, and we still got the job done. And so that.
Uh-oh.
All right. Did we lose him?
I'm here. I'm here.
Got everybody else?
Philip, you froze up.
Philip
that was huge.
Froze up.
We went from like interfere with. Go ahead.
Oh,
there he is.
Oh, we lost you there for just a second. You was talking about the
Democrats controlled the House and Senate in those days, and Virginia became a shall issue. And that was our first big victory right out of the box. And we've done a lot since then. We've got full preemption in Virginia. The only thing local government can do is control hunting and shooting. They can't control purchase, transfer, and anything else to do with firearms. And believe me, they want to.
Oh, yeah.
The worst tyranny you'll see is at the local level.
Oh, yeah.
Where only 5 people in the city council can take away your rights, And
they have no care. They have no worries about doing that.
Oh, no.
So I don't even need congressional oversight or a hearing or anything. These people can go right in with a stroke of a pen.
And as far as laws go, the local, if they had that kind of power, they could immediately pass an ordinance that's effective instantly. And so we don't let them do that in Virginia. And that was a big win in 2004. So we do that. We're a watchdog too. If local government, and this never happens, right, overstep their boundaries and try to do something with guns that they're not allowed, we step in and fix it. So.
Right. Now, Philip, I've got your webpage up right here, the Virginia Citizens Defense League. Is this like something that people can just join in? Do you take donations? Is it a membership?
Yes.
So if you'd like to go over that real quick and
sure,
go about how you do
the
that.
VCDL.org website, you'll at the top there, And unfortunately, I don't have the menu in front of me, but there should be a join or membership.
It says more.
Yeah.
Okay, membership.
Yeah.
Join
Yeah.
the
and
VCDL.
you can join. It's $25 a year. We've got members out of state, quite a few of them that want to protect their rights in Virginia. We're extremely active. I mean, nothing happens in Virginia without us knowing about it. And we take no prisoners. We're not accepting any bans on bump stocks, and we're not going with these emergency protective orders and all that stuff that the gun emergency protective orders. So very, very strong there. Up there, you can learn about. There's also menus. Which will help you with Virginia gun laws. So we've got a nice little summary. We even have a card we hand out that you can fold in half and put behind your permit that tells you where you can't carry in Virginia. So it's really handy. So like if you were going to go into a bank, you could take the card out and look at it, and you could see that banks are on the list, so you're free to carry there. Things of that nature. So we've got that. We've also got a little TV thing where like I've been interviewed by 60 Minutes and Nightline, all that. There's stuff you can look at there.
Okay.
That actually turned out well. We were a little worried about the 60-minute interview, but it actually turned out very, very well back then.
Excellent.
So.
Okay. Could everybody in the comments let me know how the audio is tracking real good? I had to make a few changes, so let me know in the comments if we're too loud, too low, or anything like that.
Well, one trick we did, by the way, guys, in Virginia is I made sure the press knew that if they had any questions on guns, to come to us. Even if they didn't want to quote, they just wanted to make sure what they were saying actually made sense, because a lot of the press don't know anything about guns.
So, like, if you got an ignorant lawyer or an ignorant news reporter, they can come to you, and you guys can totally brief them on the facts and not somebody.
Yeah, if he's talking about a semi-automatic revolver, for example, I can correct him on that. Or if he thinks an assault, quote unquote, an AR-15 stands for assault rifle instead of Armalite rifle, anything like that. And it works. They contact us pretty much. I would say we get 90% or more of the any articles or things quoting me or somebody in the organization.
Right on. It's a lot of big help. And I remember you were telling me one time before we were on the phone that you also can help to point somebody in the right direction as far as legal defense if they were to have to use their gun for any particular reason.
Yes. Well, we have some attorneys that we're not necessarily going to cover the fees, but we can get them hooked up with the right attorneys. And if it were something with the right thing that we thought was a total injustice that would affect people in Virginia, we could get involved in the lawsuit. Katie Couric has found out that we indeed do lawsuits. We're suing her. Yeah, that was us suing her. We're the group that she edited an interview and took everything out of context. We answered a question, but she took some filming at the end of the interview. They said, "Everybody sit there quietly. We're going to get the background noise in the room." And they took that clip.
That's where she asked a question.
Dead silent. They took that and they dropped it in instead of what we actually said. But we had an audio recording of everything. And so we had the proof of what we did and what she said. And that meant we went to court. Yeah?
I remember that.
Yes. It's still going on. It's in appeals right now in the Court of Appeals. And we should be hearing something any time now from the Court of Appeals on that. That was fun.
Well, I bet you won't sit quiet anymore, will you?
Oh, no. Well, I always try to record. Anytime I'm being interviewed, I try to record it. That's right. And it's to protect myself, to make sure that they don't pull a fast one.
Right here. That's why truck drivers always wear shirts with pockets, because we always got dispatcher brains that we're hauling. So we put our pockets and record, and it's got the little camera right there, and you walk around, nobody thinks about it. Record everything. Number one rule: cover your butt.
Because you become a target. Like with what I do, I've had several times I've been lied to set me up into doing something. Piers Morgan lied about an interview he wanted to do, and he completely lied. He came on with something completely different than he said it was going to be about, and just went into full attack mode. This was right after the shooting in Connecticut. So you try to be, but I don't shy away from it. I figure somebody has got to talk to the press. Right after that shooting in Connecticut, the 20 kids that were killed, like the NRA went into hiding. There was nobody to talk to the press, so all you heard on the news was the other side. So I figured, all right, well, I'll have to step up. Somebody's got to at least try to point out the other side of these issues, and the gun control isn't what doesn't work, and it wouldn't have made a difference. So, but you run a risk when you do that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yes. Now, your organization is nationwide. If anybody has any type of need counseling or need representation or anything, is that
No.
what do you
Well,
cover all
we're
aspects
strictly
of
a
everything?
Virginia organization. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't get involved nationally. As you know, we're now allowed to carry national parks. That began with VCDL in Virginia because some states don't have any national parks, I found out. We're loaded with them. So much history began here in Virginia. So it was a big deal to us. So we started the push. We started the petition going and ended up escalating. And finally, it became law. It was signed in. Obama signed it in, believe it or not, because it was attached to a credit card bill at that point. At that point, the NRA had gotten involved, and they decided that things were moving, so they got involved, and that made the final push. And so now we have that. So we rarely step into the federal side, but we will if we think we absolutely something really important is going on out there. And the bump stocks is an example where we stepped forward. The NRA said it's okay to ban them. We said no, and we're fighting that battle.
No.
But generally, if we stay in Virginia, we focus only on guns, and we don't talk about anything but guns. We don't care about anything else. And so we got a broad coalition. Our membership is, all religions or no religion. It's even we have 6,500 paying members and 28,000 that monitor our free VA alert. And for those people out there, if you want to monitor it, you'll see on the VCDL website, VA alert. Just put your email in there. People love this thing because we focus on guns. And although our focus is Virginia, the kind of stuff we put up there is some national that we feel would affect people in Virginia should know about. But it's stuff that people love because it's carefully chosen to be things of interest to gun owners generally. So it's free to be up there, and so if you want to join in, just use it.
Yeah, excellent.
Good deal. Well, that was the reason that I was asking about the national stuff because I knew you guys did the parks and things.
But we generally don't step out, but we will if we have to. Yeah.
I have two of those parks right down the road from my house here. One is the Cold Harbor Killing Fields, the Cold Harbor Battlefield Park, and then I don't remember what the other one's called. It's down the road and around the corner a little ways from the Cold Harbor.
They're all over. It was a huge win for the country.
Now, at the Cold Harbor Battlefield down there, they have the little park ranger building, and there is a no gun sign on the door. On the
building. Yeah, they don't let you carry in the buildings where the employees work.
Right.
I just recently got a DC permit, and I can carry on the mall, but I can't go into any of the buildings like the Jefferson Memorial or whatever, because that's inside of an enclosed building. I can't go in there, but I can walk all around the mall with my DC permit and carry. So we still got a ways to go. I was really hoping that Trump would maybe do a little movement on this, and maybe eventually will. With the stroke of a pen, he could remove all kinds of stuff.
Right.
All that could clear up with the stroke of a pen. And I was very disappointed to see we got fixed NICS. And I listened to him hard at the NRA convention, and he did not say a word about the Hearing Protection Act or national reciprocity. Those are two hot buttons for us as well. Being able to carry in all states. Virginia already does this, by the way. Any of you out there want to come visit Virginia, we honor all the permits, so come visit us.
I think really instead of reciprocity, it should just be constitutional carry.
Yes, agreed. Absolutely. We've been pushing for constitutional carry in Virginia now for quite a few years. We do have constitutional open carry in Virginia. Again, for people that haven't been here, you don't need a permit to openly carry a gun. And you can carry it most places, but you do need to be careful that you do know where you're carrying it. Right. Because you are open carrying. So, if you make a mistake there. But that's, our laws are pretty straightforward in Virginia. Like I said, the state tends to control where you can carry. Localities really don't have any say in it. So that helps greatly. Boy, before we had that, you needed a map. Like if you were down in Tidewater, you could open carry in Norfolk, but you couldn't go in their parks. But you couldn't open carry in Chesapeake, but you could carry in their parks with a permit. It was this horrible mess.
Yeah, that just gets way too confusing.
Well, that's what the other side wants. The other side loves that stuff because they know it discourages us.
They want confusion, they want your money, and they want to keep you confused. So
Gun control is about controlling people. It's not about crime, right? And they want to control us. And if you look at gun owners, we're very independent. The average gun owner out there, if suddenly it turned out something happened and there was a hurricane and the police weren't around, we'd all shrug and say, fine, we'll protect our own homes, we'll protect our own neighborhoods. Meanwhile, the other people on the other side, they'd be crying and trying to figure out how the cops could come save them. We would save ourselves. But that's what the other side hates about us. We're independent, and they don't like that.
Yes. Well, it's like down in Louisiana, they got up on top of the roofs with their shotguns and their ARs. Hey, cops can't protect us during all these riots and storms and floods. Hey, this is my business. I'm literally financially invested. If I lose my stock, my inventory, who's to say if you've got insurance, would cover your merchandise and stuff? Hey, I'm protecting my livelihood, my home, my business, and in the long run, my family. Because
same thing happened in L.A. When you think about the riots. Remember the riots down there? The police left. Everybody left, and the only buildings that weren't touched were the Vietnamese owners of stores, Koreans, standing up there with their AR-15s
and shooting
people. Nobody wanted to go near them.
And shooting people, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the other thing. A lot of people don't think about it. Well, wait a minute. If you're in a disaster area, these cops live in that disaster area.
Yes,
they're
they
going to
are.
take care of their family first. They're not going to come and knock on your door and say, I want your guns. Well, no, they're going to sit at their house and protect themselves, too.
Well, they did in Louisiana. They had a problem with, there was some police. I know they went into at least one neighborhood and disarmed the neighborhood and left. It was like, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some
it was a political stunt.
videos of where they were breaking down people's doors to go confiscate their guns. Yeah, pretty bad.
Well, the thing about the other side is they're finally admitting that they want to come for our guns. They've been denying it. All these years they keep saying, oh, you're crazy. We don't want to take away your guns. Now they've gotten desperate. They're actually admitting that they want gun confiscation. They want to repeal the Second Amendment. The mask is off. We knew, you and I and the people listening to this, I'm sure we all knew what they really wanted to do, but they're finally coming out, and they can no longer deny that their intent is to confiscate.
Right, like what's going on up in Massachusetts right now, that they're getting ready to do all that. It was 139 to 14 the vote towards the gun confiscation laws passed the House up there. Now it's going through the Senate. And 90% of the ones who voted yes were all pro-2A Republicans. There was actually a couple of Democrats that voted no, surprisingly enough.
Look, this is a civil right. To me, it's crazy that the Democrats and the Republicans aren't battling as to who can protect the civil right the best. But what we've got, like in Florida, down where Walter is, marches to take away a civil right. And in what alien world would somebody march to give up their civil rights? I don't think it's ever happened before. People march to get civil rights.
Right. That just goes to show you how brainwashed some of these people really are.
Yeah, they have no idea what they've got.
My question is how these kids down there graduate high school? Because if they want all the guns taken away, how did you pass history class? How did the teacher keep their job by failing not teaching history to the kids and the meaning of the history? Because if you don't know history,
they don't teach any
history. Repeat it again.
If you chew a Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun, you can get expelled, They try to scare the kids with all this expelling, bringing in police and everything for the tiniest little infraction, a toy gun on your keychain. And no, we've got to get the police in. They're doing it to scare the hell out of them so that they don't want anything to do with guns when they grow up.
Yep, that's how they do it. They just create this stigma around them that makes them seem like they're the worst thing in the world. So that way, like you said, later on when they grow up, they'll be like, oh, no, that's bad. We can't do that. Because it'll be rolling around in the back of their heads while they're growing up and, continue on, for their lifetime. Just a few years ago, there was actually a little kindergartner who got expelled from school because he drew a picture of his father who was a soldier in the military, in his uniform holding a rifle, so they expelled him from school.
Yep. Hey, real quick, Walter, you want to
Oh,
shout everybody out in the comments?
my
it's been a
job.
while
All right,
since
let's
you've
see.
done that. Yeah,
let's go
today's
from
your job.
bottom to top. The Archangel, the Midnight Range TM, Cisco 316, Watchdog. Oh, let's see. What? Did I say Midnight Range TM? I might have already. Yeah. Oh, Jumpy Killer QX, 870 LDS. Is that an engine? Cisco 316, Hamburger Helper, E-Rock, Watchdog, Lifestyles Locked and Loaded. Hello, everyone. Who else here? Let's see. Let's come down. Which ones I haven't. Clint Sanders, Girls and Guns. Look, he's in there too. Music Lover, Andrew Mitchie, Clovertech's in. Let's go to Jesse Yank 100. Jesse Yank? I don't say that. Stephen B. Clint Sanders. Okay, I'm back to the top. So yeah, it's just some of the ones in there tonight or today, I should say.
Now we got a Kenny Van Cleve in here. Yeah. He said, "Don't forget me."
Oh, okay, Kenny Van Cleve. Oh, sorry, Kenny. Didn't really figure.
Well, we got another.
Yeah, and the special K if you pinch more than you
We got another Virginian in the building. CB. He actually, I believe he said he was down Petersburg way.
And 19 Pontiac 79. Sup, everybody?
Yeah.
There you go. Well, real quick here, Mr. Walter did the shout outs. I got Walter's webpage up on the screen just so everybody knows. I purchased the Keg 410. I'm waiting patiently. But if you guys, I didn't see the 410. All I saw was the 12s up here, Walter. So I didn't know if it was on your website or not. But if you guys are interested, right there they are. You can check them out. We also have a link to Safety Harbor Firearms down in the description below. So go make sure you check out Walter's shop right there. Also, rifle packages. We're going to bring
50 BMG, upper conversions for AR-15s are complete, or you can get a lower we make, and I'm making a complete gun out of it. The shotguns, the Remingtons are 12 gauges. The Mossbergs you can get 12, 20, and 410.
There you go.
The little Keg 410 looks pretty cool.
Keg 410 is kind of a pussycat. It's like, it doesn't really kick.
But it looks so much fun, though. I mean,
yeah, it is. A little less of that, like, oh, God, here goes. When you fight, but
it's a shame that it doesn't have.
No fun sits on a pump shotgun.
No,
that's like having a fully automatic revolver. Come on.
Well, let me ask you. Ask you a question here, Mr. Walter. Can you make a stubby 410 that would be drum fed for something like that? Is that something?
It's really hard to do. Well, no, there's no drums for 410s. First thing. So, but even in the 12s, what happens is the grip is so close to the magazine when you bring it back. We did one for the what is it? The company that makes the mag-fed receivers and sells them. Black Aces was it Black Aces? Anyways, I got my wife's in the other room. She's yelling at me.
Hi, Peggy. Everybody put in the comments.
Hey, Peggy. But anyways, we made we did make the front mount for for like a Picatinny rail that would pump. We extended it out a little further so it would pump with their magazines. It's just a little harder. It's just everything gets really close together when you're trying to work it. So it'd be cool if you could, but then there's no drum mags for 410s either. So you kind of.
Well, all right. Since we were speaking about fully semi-automatic revolvers, I got
don't laugh. There actually is a semi-automatic revolver, you guys.
There is. Yeah.
I'll match that.
The English one, yes. I wish I had one, but that's an expensive toy, so I don't have one of those. So. Yes, sir.
Mr. Walter got to shoot.
Oh, yes, I did.
Shoot my little man.
Yes, I got to shoot the 357. Yes.
357 Magnum. 7-shot.
Philip, are you more of a
No,
revolver
no.
person, or are you more of a
Yeah,
auto
P320
reload?
is my main carry gun. In fact, I just got the RX, the Romeo sight red dot on it. So
Can you show
have to
us?
go out to the car and get it. It's neat. I
Okay.
had something weird with it though. The iron sights actually moved, but the red dot stayed locked on in the right position. I've never seen that happen, so I'll fix that tonight. Yeah, I put about 250
Really?
rounds. I noticed the front sight actually had moved the iron sight. The red dot they do is great. It doesn't move. It just locks right in there.
Yeah, I have to get a different slide for my P320 so I can put the red dot on it, because mine is just a basic P320. So, and I
That
love
was a
it.
tack driver. Like I said, I put 10 shots through something you put a single little patch over. It's definitely a really good gun. If I'd known you were going to do that, I would have brought it in. I didn't think about it.
I guess I should have warned you.
So, is there anything else that you would like to go over on your guys' organization? Is there anything big updates? Do you guys do rallies and all
Well,
that
we
kind
have
of stuff?
meetings. Like every month, we have one in Northern Virginia. We have them around the state quarterly, depending on where it is. We've got one coming up in Richmond next week, in Chesterfield County, where I am. We do those regularly. We try to give membership out. We're at all the gun shows. So if you go to a gun show in Virginia, you should be able to find the VCDL booth and all that stuff. We occasionally have had rallies or picnics. What we usually do is we'll take the best legislator in the House and Senate and have a picnic and invite them to speak at the picnic. We do it in their district. Then they can come out and talk. We do rate the legislators. So
awesome.
at the end of the year, you can see how your guy did, and that's we find that to be very useful. They get calls from their constituents saying, "How come you only got an 80%?" We had like.
No, wait a minute. You said 80%. Is that like an NRA rating, or do you guys
we
have your
base
own
on their
rating
votes.
system that you rate?
So we do have a system based on votes. They get credit if it's a very pro-gun bill or just a pro-gun bill, or a very anti-gun. We get negative ratings for very anti-gun or anti-gun, depending on the magnitude. They also get points if they put in a pro-gun bill, if they introduce one. If they introduce a bill for VCDL, they get even more points. And we have ways of controlling things like if a bill gets pocket vetoed, the speaker gets negative points, things like that. So it all works out to basically give you a pretty good idea of what the reality is, who's really, it's one thing and we survey these guys, but that's just what they say they'll do. The actual voting record is what they do when
look what happened. Look what happened in Florida.
Yeah, that was sad.
Right. Now, do you work with other organizations like GOA and Ohio gun owners and small state?
A lot of the state runs have actually modeled themselves after us. This is the Shell issue.
Okay.
They basically contacted us, and we were setting up, and I was happy to explain exactly how we're organized. Because we've been extremely effective, and they want to model after. We're happy. We want everybody to, we want to do whatever we can to help this entire nation.
Right. And you guys have a good website. It's got a lot of information up there, a lot of news.
And I'll speak to anybody. Just it's president@vcdl.org, and I'll be happy to talk. Anybody wants us out there. If you want to set up your own state, add another grassroots group, talk to me. I'll be happy to help you. We do. And during the legislative session, we communicate with the NRA lobbyists and the GOA, and we talk to GOA. We're not controlled by the NRA, and they're not controlled by us, but we still talk to each other, and that's important to know, what each one is doing, and it's helped a lot in Virginia. There was a time when they didn't talk to us, and that caused some problems. They inadvertently stepped on our toes a few times because they weren't talking to us, but we fixed all that, so we're in good shape right now.
Yes.
So,
yes, sir. I'm actually showing your website right now on the screen. So you guys are up to date on news and what's going on around with everything. What do you think is going to happen since the Speaker of the House is getting ready to retire? The communist lady.
Feinstein?
I have.
No, the other one. It's with Chuck Schumer. I can't. She's wanting to be chairman now, or speaker.
Speaker of what?
Nancy Pelosi.
Speaker of the House?
Yeah.
I got news for you. She's in the minority. Bitch.
Yeah, she can't. Unless they win, and actually, the party's kind of trying to step away from her. She's not playing with a full deck and all kinds.
No, she's one of the ones getting the Alzheimer medicine, I think. So
I think, she says things that are totally disjointed.
Well, she said that we can help monitor illegals crossing the border. All we had to do is
I remember that. Oh, we could sit here and spend another 4 hours talking about Nancy Pelosi-isms. She's hilarious.
I keep tweeting out to her. I said, stop listening to your interns. They're 5 years old to 9 years old, and they're still in elementary school. Stop reading their information.
I heard one time that her husband or their family, they own vineyards in California, and supposedly there's a lot of Mexicans that work for them. As a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
I think she's been a little bit too
much on the sauce. Too much sauce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She said things that just make your hair stand on end. It's so crazy.
Man.
But they
breathe out of one side of the mouth and talk out the other.
They keep electing her, so what are you going to do?
Well, that's because
I guess she represents the people.
Well, she brings home the bacon or something, or the freebies. That's why they do it. So.
Yeah.
How does she get so much money when people can actually see I need to do this, and then she'll flip right around the next day and say the exact opposite? Don't people see that?
A lot of people don't pay.
I'm giving my money to her.
I don't think her constituents are all that sharp.
They don't pay attention. But
No, that's right. And that's a problem. I'll tell you what, though. As gun owners, we also fall into that camp.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Too many of us are not watching what's going on.
Well,
give you an example. We got 430,000 permit holders in Virginia. We've got, 18 million in the United States. 430,000. How many members did I say we had? 6,500.
Right,
so for every person in VCDL, they're holding up dead weight of 66 gun owners that aren't doing anything to protect their rights. That's a big problem. And you know what? If those guys got active, if we had 300,000 members, there's nothing we couldn't accomplish in Virginia. We would be a force next to none. But getting them to do that is very tough, and that's a problem.
Oh yeah.
How many lawyers do you have that works for you?
We've got
legal representation, or do you guys?
These guys do it for free pretty much, unless we actually have to do something heavy duty. But we have at least, I think it's 12 that are on an email thing that anytime I want any legal advice, I just throw it out there and they'll respond. I've got some I talk to that give me advice all the time for free. We've got we got some really great lawyers. And that helps. Boy, if your organization has some free legal things like that, it really helps when you're dealing with laws. Yep. They can draft bills for you. They can make sure that what you're wanting to do is legal, or what somebody else has done is not legal, and how to fix it. So,
can you plug mine in, please? So, well, sir, I know we were running a little late trying to get everything set up. We're a little right after 6 o'clock. If you wanted to do the full hour, we still got like 10 minutes.
Well, we can keep going, and then that's fine. Oh, sure. We can go anywhere you guys want to go if it deals with guns. It's all good.
I don't mean to change the subject or anything, but in the chat there, Archangel was asking me if to like to do a 10 gauge keg 12 or a keg 10, and I was like, 10 gauge, huh?
Okay.
So I was saying, well, who makes a 10 gauge pump shotgun? And he says Remington and Ithaca. I thought Browning did too, actually, at one time.
There he is.
But I know they're kind of pricey. Last time I think I saw a Browning 10 gauge, it was like basic shotgun was like $800, something like that. I don't know.
Wow, is that like late?
No, that's like a modern shotgun. Yeah.
That has.
You're funny.
That has a shoulder break.
Actually,
That's all right.
I just got a message that my battery's going low. I'm on a cell phone, and I didn't bring a charger. So if I drop out, that's because the battery said adios. So maybe we should go ahead and just call it for this one if you're going to go on to your next guest.
All right. go ahead and pimp, do whatever you want. The camera, the stage
Okay.
is yours,
Well,
sir.
yep. If you're in
Go for
Virginia or you're interested in protecting rights of Virginia, just join us. It's an easy thing to do. It's a fun group. If you want to get on VA Alert, the free email, get up there. There's a lot of information. We'll go up there from time to time and tell everybody what the self-defense laws are in Virginia. We make sure our members know the law. And I've seen a lot of them get interviewed on television. They just knock the ball out of the park, because they know what they're talking about.
Is that something y'all are working on too, like a stand your ground thing here in Virginia? Because I know we don't have a castle doctrine here.
We don't. Well, we are a stand your ground state now. We are. We're already that. You can stand your ground anywhere you are, even virtually anywhere, as long as you're innocent. Now, if you're part of the problem, then you've got to retreat as far as you can. In other words, you get involved in an altercation, now you have to retreat because, in essence, the state wants to make sure you didn't set somebody up so that they would, quote unquote, attack you so you could shoot them. You've got to show, oh, no. When I got into that argument, I had no idea. So I retreated. I was cornered. I had nowhere else to go. The guy kept coming. Then you can defend yourself.
Right.
But, we're good other than that. We've got a very good set of laws here when it comes to self-defense.
Now, if somebody breaks into your house and they don't happen to have a gun, are you still allowed to use your gun against them? I mean, at night, the Commonwealth assumes they're breaking in your house to harm you. If they break in during the day, then you kind of get into, there has to be a reasonable belief that they're going to harm you. If the guy's got a knife, a gun.
No, wait a minute. It comes down to he said, she said, and I was always told that man.
Well, yeah. But, if the dead man is holding a knife or a gun, it helps.
Well, I thought in Florida you break the plane of entry and you're fair game. Whether you're armed or not.
Here you're not. Yeah. Here you're not during the day. At night you would be. But during the day, because you can have an Alzheimer patient come in the house. Somebody can go in the wrong place, things like that, where you don't really need to.
Then there's.
It's very tough. Self-defense is a tough one. But we try to make sure people know, because as gun owners and permit holders, you got to know the self-defense laws where you're at. Right. And that's, because if you ever have to use it, you want to make sure that you're not the one that's going to go to jail. So if you're clearly innocent, often you won't even get arrested. So
that's good.
If they feel it's clear-cut self-defense.
Right.
So join us. Get on web again. I'm easy to reach. All the phone numbers on that website, they all ring on my desk. So you're stuck with me no matter what. I like it that way. I would rather talk directly to our members and to just anybody that's calling that needs help. I don't mind getting on the phone and talking to them. People are reasonable about it, and so you can president@vcdl.org. Again, you got any questions? You're coming to Virginia, you're not sure of something? Contact me. I'd be glad to help you out.
Right on. All right, yeah.
Cool.
There you go. Travis, go ahead and join.
Hey, Philip, you all were having a meeting in Richmond very soon?
Yeah, I believe it's Wednesday. This Wednesday coming up in Chesterfield at the North Courthouse Library. 7 p.m.
What are you covering?
At the North Courthouse Library.
What all are you going to cover at that
Well, we cover what's going on with those. We also look at self-defense scenarios. I've got some videos I play. We watch a scenario, and then we break it down to talk about how it would apply under Virginia law, or what's the best tactical way to handle things. So we kind of mix it up. A little bit of laws, a little bit of news, a little bit of tactical shooting and stuff.
And what's the time? What time is the event begin?
I think it was 7 to 8:30, as I recall. Again, any questions, it'll be on our website on the calendar. There is a calendar up there.
Right.
You can check there, send me an email. But it's in Chesterfield. So if you're in the Richmond area, come on down. Northern Virginia every month, up in Annandale every month. We just had the one up there. So every month, if you live in Northern Virginia, check the website.
All right, right on.
Okay, our next guest, Travis Conover, just joined in. Travis, did you got any questions for Philip here? Virginia stuff?
I don't think so. I was enjoying the banter though, and I was definitely enjoying hearing about the organization. I think it's important that we start to spread truth, because it's something that is really being attacked pretty hard in our country right now, and we are not a minority, but we're we're made out to look like a minority. But I think there's more guns in this country than people, so we must not be alone. I think we just need to get people on board, and we need people that believe in their rights and believe in their freedom to kind of, speak out, and actually be brave instead of worrying about these social justice warriors beating us into a corner.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, from myself, Philip, thank you so kindly, sir, for coming in. You're always welcome. So thank you. Grillis, you want to go
Sure,
ahead
I'd be glad
and
to
finish off there, and then
have me on again someday.
Yeah, we'll get you back in. I guess maybe next time
have me on anytime.
Definitely appreciate you coming along. I've been seeing you guys pop up here and there, especially on Facebook. I just actually sent you a friends request today because I found you personally on there. I've been following the VCDL page for some time, so we'll have to get together and go shooting since we live in the same city. Oh yes, sir. You can come on out to my range and we can go ahead and just shoot right in my backyard, comfortable. We'll be rub it in. All right, Phil. Thanks, guys. Take care, man.
Thank you, Phil. Have a great day. Make sure everybody checks out his website there. Link is down in the description below. Bye. So thanks again, Phil.
Take care.
It, sir. Thanks, sir. All right, guys. Our next guest is a upcoming, fast, rapid becoming a movie star, Mr. Travis Conover. I've known the gentleman for quite some time. Met him way back in the Bay doing some Killzone. So if you are a PlayStation 3 guy, you probably played the game. So Travis is a great individual. Like I said, upcoming movie star. He's doing a lot of different ventures, /model, gamer, social media expert, and coordinator and everything. So Travis, this is Grillis and Guns with the big beard, and the other gentleman right there is Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms.
Travis! All right. Well, thank you for having me on, and I hope I'm worthy of the introduction that I got. So,
well, after what you said when you first came in, I think you are.
Oh, thank you. Well, I think we all feel that way. It's just I get paid to articulate what I want to say, the best that I can. So.
Yes. Well, we wanted to bring you on, and I get a lot of questions on getting started on social media, YouTube, guys wanting to make videos and do guns and gaming and all kind of other stuff. You did that, and then now you're getting into being more than just a host. You're actually getting into the background of movies, plays, background script writing, game development. I know you guys have something on the side there going on, and movies. So could you walk us through, if we've got someone of any age, male or female, that want to be a model, be into a movie, or learn how to read scripts, or all that stuff?
First thing I wanted to say, just quickly, I see a lot of comments talking about your mic, Tyvan. If there's any way to turn yourself up, your video sync is off as well, and I hate to stop the flow here, but okay, cool.
Go ahead. I'll fix it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I started on YouTube, man. I don't know how long ago that was, Tyvan, but I guess right around when Resistance 3. If you remember Resistance 3, the game with the aliens or shooting aliens.
Yep, I played that.
Yeah, that's actually when I started. So whenever that game was out, was like one of my first videos of all time. Was from Resistance 3, and you can
actually really good game.
Yeah, it was actually a good game. They had great campaigns. The multiplayer was decent, but the campaigns were pretty cool. But I started there, and I probably did YouTube for like 6 years. And I stopped, I guess, when I was about 26, 27 maybe. I'm going to be I'm going to be 30 in a couple months here. So it's been a couple years. I know the big 3-0. It's killing me.
Be careful now. You be careful.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention
30,
at
I'd
the
be happy.
beginning when Travis got on. He's also a special art karate gentleman. Martial arts. That's the word I was looking for.
That's the word. Yeah, yes. I'm a 3rd degree black belt in Taekwondo, but I've dabbled in a bunch of different styles as well.
Yeah, I did some dabbling myself.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I apologize. I had to throw that in there because it's actually Captain Roundhouse's official gaming online name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Keep going. I apologize, man.
Yeah, I think Captain Roundhouse was a product of being 22 years old or 21 years old, whatever I started was.
Still doing it, though.
It's stuck. Yeah, it's stuck. I think everybody thought it was kind of funny, so I just kind of stuck with it.
Right.
So anyway, I did YouTube for a number of years, and I always, even as a little guy, 4 or 5 years old, had a passion to get into film. I always wanted to make films. I always felt connected to Jean-Claude and all the guys we grew up watching, Stallone and Arnie and.
You got to do it real quick. Come on.
Get to the chopper now. You got to get down, Melina. All right. So Tyvan loves when I do that.
I'm gonna reach into your stomach and pull out your spine.
Gonna break your goddamn spine.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to be an actor. We all grew up watching those guys. I know you guys did, because if you're into action films and stuff like that, those are the quintessentials, right? Your Stallone, your Arnie, your Van Damme's, Seagal, even Steven Seagal's in there and stuff like that. So when I was like 16, my friend approached me. I just moved to a new school district, and he was like, "Hey man, this guy, he told me that I could do like 2 free weeks of martial arts." And I was like, "Dude, sign me up."
Right.
So I started doing Taekwondo, and immediately just, took off with it. Started doing it constantly, almost every single day, going to the dojang and practicing Taekwondo. And then I became a teacher, and I ended up opening my own school when I was 22, all along with like doing YouTube. So that was like kind of my career was like YouTube and martial arts, which, YouTube is entertainment, however you want to look at it. You're a YouTube entertainer or you're a movie star. They both have their place, right? So I just really always had that passion to entertain, and that's kind of why I did it. I didn't know how else to do it, So then when I was about 20, 22, 23, just a small studio approached me because they saw my team, my martial arts team that I was traveling with, and they approached me about starring in a short film. And it was just like a no budget, they had some really good equipment, but so no budget film. And I was like, yeah, man, I would love to. Yeah, I've always wanted to do this. So that's kind of how I got started. And then a couple years later, as I was running my martial arts school, doors started opening up to the entertainment industry, and like producers were contacting me that saw me do martial arts and stuff. So it kind of just happened. But it's always been a passion. So I think I just really just got blessed. I don't even know how else to explain it, but it just kind of happened.
Right. And you're also a gun guy. I see you shooting your 50s once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He has an awesome check his website out, dude.
Yeah. What is the website down in the description?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'll definitely check that. Okay. Ultra Killer. Yep.
Safety
Harbor Firearms. Okay, I see that.
He makes an AR-15 50 cal conversion. Magazine fed or bolt?
Oh, I have. If you go to my Instagram, I actually have video of me shooting a custom-made 50 cal with an AR lower.
Nice.
Oh, Travis's Instagram is also in the link. So, Walter, if you want to sneak over to Instagram and see if it's your 50 cal or not.
It may be. Where are you from?
Safety Harbor, Florida. Yep.
Oh, okay, in Florida. I think this one was built in the Midwest, actually.
Oh, okay.
Is what Neil told me, the gentleman who owned it. But I have right now. I've had like an AK-47. Right now, my favorite gun that I have is a Model 94 30-30, which is really nice, super smooth. And then I have like a Savage 308. Just your standard Mossberg 12.
Mm-hmm. You actually happen to have a really good AK guy sitting right in the middle with that TIVANshow hat on. Answer any AK question you've got.
I'm sure.
show him, Walter. Show him something.
Oh, me? Who? Oh, wait a minute. What's that? Oh, sorry about that. I hit the thing and it freaking started. You know what happens when I do the podcast with Hank? I always turn my volume on my phone off, and next day I'm like, "Why phone people say to me?" It's like, "Well, I forgot to turn the volume back up." That's why. Okay. I mean, AKs. I mean, I have AKs. Yeah. I mean, that's not a problem. I mean, but what do you want to know? I mean, hubba. What are we doing? I got a couple AKs. I mean, this is just a little short one that I have that we play with.
That looks fun.
Yeah. Oh, this thing's a thumper. When it goes off, it's like.
Oh yeah. Well, we had a shotgun that we called Shorty, and for sake of being on the internet, I'll say it was just legal. If you know what I mean. But that thing was shooting fire like 6 or 7 feet out of the barrel. That was really fun to shoot.
Yeah, I take Mossbergs and Remingtons pump shotguns and shorten them down 7-inch or 10-inch barrels.
Yeah.
Now, those are all NFA, it's like AOWs or short barrel shotguns.
Right.
But Tyvan knows he's seen them. He's got one ordered, actually, one of the 410s.
Yeah.
It kind of does the same thing depending on the round. You can go fireball and that too. So yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, so a lot of fun. Yep.
Now, since you was actually on a movie set today, can you give us any details about what's going on? Are you guys doing the guns, crossbows, or is it a love novel? What's your status today? I've talked to you a couple times within the last week, but I haven't been concurrent with what you got going on.
So I am leaving on the 4th, going to Texas, and I'll be down there for probably like 20 days. I think we're shooting, maybe a couple days off here and there, but being on set is pretty grueling. You're usually doing like 12 to 16-hour days every day until you're done. But that movie, I am acting in that movie. It's called The Penitent Thief. It's actually a period film. It's about the two thieves on the cross next to Jesus when he was crucified. So,
okay.
Yeah, so that's based, 30 AD-ish, right around that period. It's a really cool film, though. The script, I know the writer of the book and the script personally now, obviously, because I've been working on the film with him. I have a speaking role in that, but I'm actually one of the producers of that film. So I'm doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and my acting role is a little bit smaller in this film, but it's going pretty well. I think we're going to have a pretty cool product, and it should be coming out, I want to say like early next year, maybe like Easter of next year.
Okay.
Oh.
Good deal. What else have you been into?
Well, as far as like films are going, I'm actually, I wrote my own film recently. It was something that was kind of inspired by one of my friends, actually. And this girl, Renata Eastlick. Do you guys play Rainbow Six Siege?
I couldn't get into it.
Myself, no.
Okay. Well, if anybody out there plays Rainbow Six Siege, the operator, Caveira, is she's like a Brazilian. She's pretty badass in the game. But Caveira is actually my good friend Renata in real life, which is pretty cool. So her voiceover was done by my friend. But she actually inspired me to do this film. We used to work together at the World Trade Center. We did like presentations up on the top floor when guests would come in and stuff like that. And one day we were just talking, and I was about to leave, or no, I'm sorry, she was about to leave and move down to Florida. And, I was just like, hey, let me pray for you for safe travels. And because I'm not going to get to see you very much. So as I was praying, she's like, man, I just really feel like, you should make this film. And she kind of had an idea in her head of this superhero. So I didn't think much of it. And I was like, all right, thanks for the thought. I'm not really sure where to go with that. And about a month and a half later, I was on the train, on the subway in New York, going to the World Trade Center. And this movie that she was talking about just hit me. And I literally got the whole movie front to back in 10 minutes. So I took out my phone and I have a huge, page of notes on it that I wrote on the train ride down to the World Trade Center. It's really interesting. And then I wrote the movie in about 2 weeks. Now we're looking at investors now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's really good. Talented guy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was.
No, you great. Also do the modeling stuff. I apologize. I got excited. Getting into the acting part, like we had discussed prior, if somebody wants to follow that dream, can you give us some background? Because we did the YouTube, the school, and your karate and stuff, and it was my fault I got you off. So, could you give us some background on if somebody wants to get into that type of field? What's it all detail?
Sure. So, my biggest advice to anybody who wants to entertain, period, doesn't matter, whether you're acting, modeling, this, that, the other thing, doing YouTube, doing Twitch, whatever you want to do, is you have to have a brand and you have to stick with that brand no matter what. So as soon as you start anything, whether it's Gorilla and Guns, whether it's TIVANshow, whether it's, Walter's, company there, whatever you're doing, you have to have a solid vision. You have to have a plan, and you have to stick with that plan no matter what. I was reading a book recently, and I recommend anybody and everybody to listen to this audiobook, or you can read the actual book. I like audiobooks because I travel a lot, so I just listen to them on the plane or whatever. But this audiobook is called Extreme Ownership, and it's by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin, the two Navy SEALs that worked with Chris Kyle. And it talks about how to dominate in every aspect of your life. So if you can, one of the things that Jocko says is victory is won at your first alarm. When your first alarm goes off in the beginning of the day at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., whenever you get up, have a plan for that day and just crush it. And that's not just for acting, that's for anything. But once you have your vision and your brand, get up and work hard at it every day. The connections that I've made in the industry, I have no right to have made those connections. It's just that I constantly attack my vision relentlessly. And you have to. Everywhere you go, I'm talking about my business, and I'm selling myself everywhere I go. And I do it in such a way that it doesn't offend people. It's just in conversation. I make sure that people understand who I am and exactly where I'm going, and talk as if you're already there. Talk as if you're a big deal, and you can become one.
Right. Now, Walter would be a good example like that because he's a owner of a company that, once you get that view, you run with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I say you try to. Yeah. There's distractions constantly, so. Sometimes it's hard to stay focused, especially been doing it for a long time. You get kind of tired at some point, but then there's new projects and you get refocused and you get back on track. So yeah, that's a hard thing to do, to stay on site constantly. When there's things to do, fun stuff over here to do. Maybe we'll go over here. Maybe it's like, get back on track. It's like, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm in no means the perfect example of someone who's 100% focused. but I know that when I am focused, what I accomplish is 10 times greater than when I'm not focused. And
yeah, when I have days where everything is working and it's like I get a lot done, and other times it's like, I got to go over here and I got to go over there and I got to do this. It's like, gosh darn it, I just want to get back on track here. It's like I can get so much done if you just leave me alone for a while. And then when I get left alone, it's like, I better do something here. Turn off.
He's going to come in with the broom and start, Walter, get back to work. Get back to work.
Turn off Facebook. Stop looking at Facebook. Come on.
Yeah. Like, I constantly get pulled in 10 different directions at work, and I have to always be able to go right back to what I was doing when I get pulled away from it. So, I work in the collision industry, and I do what's called blueprinting, where I sit in the back shop with all the technicians and, look over the cars after they take them apart and find any of the hidden damages and stuff. So anytime they get wrong parts or anything, I'm always the first person they come to. So if I'm in the middle of writing up an estimate on something, I have to stop what I'm doing, go out there and help them get their parts situation straight real quick, and then be able to go right back and jump back into that estimate and pick up right where I left off. So, I know how that goes, man.
Yes.
And it's really hard to stay focused on one thing, especially when you got a lot of other people, relying on you and pulling you in 10 different directions. So,
yeah. I heard a thing today. It was a video that somebody shared with me on Facebook, actually. And they sent it through Messenger. And when I get around to it, I get to see those things. So I looked at it a couple hours later, and it was about time. And like, time is something that you can't purchase, right? But you're always spending it. And it's just something that you can never get back. You have a finite amount of hours in your day, in your week, in your month, and your year. How you spend those hours are going to define who you are and what you do. And it was like a huge wake up call for me. I'm really invigorated right now to like kick some serious butt, not just in my career, but also helping other people and stuff like that. Giving back is really huge too. So,
yep,
man, time is special. It's just, it's important.
Well, when you reach 48, things do kind of slow down a little bit, but when you get up there to Walter's age,
oh Jesus Christ,
there's not even nap time anymore.
Back in '63,
time just becomes an illusion.
Yeah, an illusion. Yeah. That sounds like some lyrics to a song. I'll come up with it in a little bit here.
There you go.
There you go. So, get back to your story there. So, what else do you got?
So my film is, right now we're in the stages where I'm finishing the prospectus, which is what you give investors, and I'm going to be approaching investors. So if there's anybody listening who has connections to investors or is an investor, we're looking for about 10 million to make the film. That doesn't include advertising and release, but 10 million is going to be the budget for the actors and for the locations and, the props. There's quite a bit of pyrotechnics in this film. But it's a superhero film, and it's going to be incredible. I'm really excited about it. It's in my mind, it's kind of like a DC or a Marvel film. That's how I wrote it. That's the vision that I had for it, was this John Wick-esque, superhero, could even slot into like a Marvel or DC universe or Valiant universe or whatever.
Yeah, very creative. For everybody's watching, I've been friends with him for a while, and we've had a few talks back in the day. And he's got just a wide open mind and absorbs it all. And he's got honor, dignity, and respect, and he also gives it back. But he also tries to further himself and make himself better in this world and to make a difference. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'd asked you to come on, Travis, because you are an upcoming star and you've got a lot of things going on, and I wanted people to see that perspective, because the kids today, it's give me, or I want, and just like you and Walter and Grillis, we have to work every day. Nothing's given at all, and so that was just my point.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
if you ever make a zombie movie, let me know. Okay, because I love zombie movies. I love zombie stuff. And if you ever watch a couple of my videos, I can't say I haven't done a little bit of acting in some of my videos.
Nice.
Yeah, call me.
Yeah, exactly. We'll throw you in.
I'll send you a profile pic.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem with our culture in my mind right now, and it's interesting because I'm in the movie industry, right? I'm in like the most liberal, maybe the most liberal industry in history. Entertainment is definitely the most I guess taken over by the left. So you kind of, when you're on the right, and when you're conservative and or even more just moderate, in the middle somewhere, you have to be incognito. You can't talk about what you believe because you'll be blacklisted like right away. They'll throw you under a bus and you'll never work again. But believe it or not, and I know this is going to come as maybe a shock to you, maybe not so much, there's a lot more of us in the film industry than you would actually think.
It's them 3% of buttholes that have a loud mouth that never got their butt spanked when they were kids, causing all the trouble.
That's definitely what it seems like. No, but I mean the movie industry is definitely very liberal.
Oh yeah. Everybody's still saying, Tyven, you need to turn up your microphone a little bit more.
All right, we got it now. It's up. Thank you, guys.
There we go.
So shout out to Axis Armin. He's in the comments right now. He was going to come and hang out with us, but he wasn't able to make it. So go ahead.
Yeah, so there's actually a good chunk of conservatives in there. I wouldn't say it's 50% or even 30%. It's probably more like 5 or 10%, but it's more than you would think. And they just kind of keep quiet, but in their circles, it's all known to them, and they kind of stick close together and they work together a lot, because when you're on set with somebody who has the same beliefs and the background and the integrity that you have, I would hire that person 10 times out of 10 over somebody who even has a bigger name, because I know I can trust them and they're going to go to bat with me and for me when I need them to. So it becomes a tight circle and you all help each other out,
Who you know is how far you go before what you know.
It's unfortunately true. I've always thought of that too. Like think about the best athletes that we know in the world, right? There's got to be athletes from all over the world that are in these super impoverished third world countries that we don't even know. They're probably some of the best martial artists and some of the best, soccer players, and they just never get seen. They don't have opportunity. We live in a land where you still, for probably a little short time longer, you can still become anything that you want to be within reason.
Yes, and that needs to be taught in schools again.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
So, we got a little bit longer. What do you have coming down to the future here? We talked to you earlier. You got anything like action-packed heroes? Because I know Walter's got some guns that he would love to get into a movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to go through Leviathan for that.
Yes.
So I do have one project that I've been thinking about for a couple months now, and it's more like a documentary style. It's not an actual scripted film. But are you guys into motorcycles at all?
I know about them.
I have one sitting in my driveway right now.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm a huge motorcycle guy. My dad actually makes custom motorcycles. He's super talented, super creative with that kind of stuff. But have you ever seen the movie On Any Sunday, made by Bruce Brown in the 70s?
Yeah, it's about motocross, right? Or is it? Or it's about motorcycles in general?
Motorcycles in general. It actually follows like Mert Lawwill and Malcolm Smith and Steve McQueen, kind of in the 70s. And it's about the enjoyment of riding motorcycles and how the community of motorcycles, kind of like the gun community, it's just this tight-knit As soon as you meet somebody who has a motorcycle and you have a motorcycle, you're just friends automatically. Right. You know what I mean? It's like that instant connection. So I want to make a movie like kind of in the vein of what Bruce Brown did with On Any Sunday, again, about motorcycles, and kind of bring that magic back, because there's one line in that movie, I don't know if you guys remember it, but they were interviewing Steve McQueen. It was at the end of this race, and he's just sitting there. He's got this big smile on his face, and he's like, hey, just when the world seems all bad, you get together with a couple guys who have motorcycles, and everything starts to seem okay again. So I just think it would be a cool way, because look, our country is being divided, and it's actually being divided by politicians. I walk around all day and meet great people who don't even believe the same things as me, but we have good conversations and I connect with them. And, you know, I pride myself in the ability to connect with anybody and to respect them for whoever they are as much as I can, unless they're, you know,
turds,
ridiculous.
Yes.
Turds. Yeah, exactly. but I try to respect people as much as I can, and I see a lot of people doing great things. But if you watch the news, you would think that everything was falling apart, right?
Well, doomsday, 100%.
Right. It's everything is always terrible.
Yeah.
So I would like to unify the
worst enemies in this country right now.
Yeah.
Do what? What'd you say, Grillis?
I said the media is probably one of our worst enemies in this country right now.
No doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt. Yes. And I would just love to unify the country somehow, to do something like that movie. And one of the slogans that I had in mind for the movie was "Make America Ride Again." And I know that's gonna trigger a lot of people, but if everybody was just riding motorcycles around, everybody would be smiling. I've never ridden a friggin' motorcycle without smiling.
Yeah, you're right. Well, even after you pick the bugs out.
Be careful, Trump might come after you for using his slogan, "Make America Great." Well, let's make America ride again.
Exactly. I think he'd get on a bike and follow me, because I think he's that kind of guy.
I don't know what it is. You brought that up. In the last 3 days, my YouTube feed, suggested videos coming up is the hill climbs.
Oh, that stuff's awesome. Yeah.
This morning, there was a video that popped up. These kids are riding the little 50s and 70s, the YZ, KZ80s and stuff. And these kids are 8, 9 years old, and they're going up this mountain. Well, I'm not gonna say a mountain, but a pretty good sized hill.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them didn't make it 30 foot up. And some of them, you know, they were everywhere trying to get up this hill. But it was, dude, one side was all dads and the other side was moms, and they would walk up with the kid with their bike, and then they would run up as the kid went up. I'm like, man, what a great family event for kids to do. The parents are active. You know, I think that's one issue, is just a lack of parents not spending time with their kids, or teaching true gun safety, or, you know, how to cut the grass or how to work on something. It's not out there. I mean, there's still a few, but I just thought that was so awesome, seeing these little kids, man, on these little KZs, and just screaming, dude. It was awesome.
Absolutely. No, you know, and the thing about it too is, it's not just a sport. It's a tough sport. So when we were growing up, right, I'm right on the brink. I'm going to be 30 years old. So I grew but I grew up in the 90s. You know, I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. Back then, there was still some toughness, right? We didn't go on our computers and play video games all day. We went out and we skateboarded and we rode dirt bikes and we rode bicycles and we threw rocks at each other. And, you know, I was on the brink of like the generation now.
Did you wear a helmet all the time?
No, I never ever wore one.
Wear a freaking helmet. Yeah.
I don't recall ever wearing a helmet.
That was the group of class. He was the next class after him.
Yes. It was really the next 10 years after I got out of school, everything just went and turned over on its head, and it's like, I can't stand it.
That's when you had the introduction of gun-free zones and bicycle helmets and padding for every orifice on your body and every joint. You know, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't you can't
play in the street anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
Seriously.
Walter, answer me this question, Walter. When you went to school, weren't you allowed to bring guns to school?
Oh yeah, back in the 30s. Yeah.
Well, no. Let me see. Okay. It wasn't you were allowed to bring guns to school. I mean,
You just did.
yeah. I mean, if we were going to go hunting after school on Friday, there were guns in the truck, obviously.
Right, that's what I mean. So that was not even a
didn't
problem.
make an issue of it or anything, but that's just the way it was.
Well, even before you, then I know that people talk about, people in their 80s and stuff like that would, if they were going to go hunting, sometimes they'd put the gun in their locker, and it would actually be in the schools. Now, whether or not it was legal, I don't know.
Right.
But nobody ever got shot.
I graduated from high school in 1980, so I'm not that old.
Okay.
But in 1980 in high school, they smoked in the
Class.
in the
Right.
no, not in the class, in the
teacher's
courtyard,
lounge.
in the courtyard of the school.
Right.
Kids smoked.
They had cigarette machines in schools back then, didn't they?
Well, not that much, but still, yeah, it's just a different time, I mean,
It is, yeah.
but everything's. We walked home from school. We rode our bikes all over the countryside.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
You was on one side of town on your bicycle, and then 30 minutes later, you was on the other side of the railroad tracks, on the other side, having fun playing baseball or something.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's like I can remember when I was in 6th grade. Every day after school, we went and played football in the elementary school yard. I mean, that was a good, almost a mile from my house, But that's just where I was playing football, beating each other up. So,
Yeah, I mean,
Nobody cried when somebody got their lip popped.
well, not too bad, anyways. Yeah.
yeah, and you would, as soon as you got home from school, you'd eat something, you'd run out, play with your friends all day, and when the street lights came on or whatever, you'd go back.
Or your mom yells out the door. Ah! Yeah.
Exactly. It's just so much different now. Now kids are, that age, texting each other and making plans and then skipping out on plans because something else comes up, and it's just pathetic, man. I'm really grieved by the state of our culture that we've developed in this country, and technology has really fast-tracked our country into betahood, I guess is a good way to say it.
Yeah.
That's like, Wars is a machinist, and my brother owns a machine company, and they do all kind of stuff, and there is such a hard trying to find machinists, mechanics.
People with trades
who want to work trades. Yeah.
Trades. Yeah. I mean, I think that trend's going to change because, my son has a college degree, but a lot of these people get these degrees and they're useless. They can't take the garbage out of the shop, without falling down or something on themselves. So
yeah,
what good does it do to have some fancy degree if you can't do anything with it? I mean, it's useless. When the guy that goes out and learns how to run the CNC machine or weld, he goes into a job making money and he can work anywhere in the country.
He's going to dominate.
So,
absolutely.
That's like when I graduated from high school, I took body shop class in high school. When I graduated, I had a job. About 4 or 5 years later, I ran into the kid who graduated valedictorian of our class working at a alcoholic beverage store as a cashier.
Wow.
He had gone through college. And
right.
Graduated through college. I want to say like top 25 in his class in college.
But what did he take in college, though? I mean, did he take some liberal arts?
No, that was back when the whole computer era was starting.
Oh, just getting going. Yeah.
Right.
Didn't take lesbian dance theory.
Or
he took the Rainbow Coalition.
Lesbian dance theory. Yes. And unfortunately, the system that they push these kids that have no business being in college, and they take these classes. It's just a money machine for the college. Right. And then, we got financing. You can get financing. So you come out of school, and my son doesn't because he everything was paid for. But they owe $100,000 away. Like, what do you do? I mean, it's not a good thing. They need to go back to basics. And that's
the thing that's really a tragedy is that not only have we ingrained in these kids' minds, these poor kids, that college is a must-have, which it's not. Skilled labor, you can make way more money these days because there's no plumbers, there's no electricians. all these jobs are disappearing, but we need them, right? They're in high demand right now, so they're
but they took those classes out of school. You can't take small engines and drafting.
I took small engines, I took welding and everything.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I was the last generation.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, and it's a shame, dude. Everybody needs to know how to read a tape measure.
How about this one? Read a map.
Well, I don't know. I'm a truck driver, and I literally can drive anywhere in the continental U.S. and not need a map.
Well, but
I've
what
been doing it for 20 years.
What happens when what happens when it goes down? Something goes down and there's no power or something.
Yeah,
what are you talking about, Walter? It's right here, dude. I don't use a map.
Oh well, okay.
Or nothing.
You're one of those
right there, dude.
You're the superhero kind. Okay.
No, because my old man's a truck driver, and I grew up in the truck, and my old man could do that. He literally could go anywhere in the continental U.S. and Canada and not need a map. So when I got into the trucking industry, I was like, you know what? If the old man can do that, I can do that. And I used to sit and study, and I flunked geography in school. I hated geography. Crazy. And now it's my job. But I'm like, you know what? The old man set a standard. Well, now I have a standard that I need to meet to be successful. And I'm like, all right, this is just a stepping stone. So I sat and studied, and I now can go anywhere in the continental U.S. I don't need a map unless I'm looking for like a specific store or something that might have moved, or a new complex to go deliver the lights or their mainframes or whatever to the facility. But getting anywhere, I don't need a map.
But
they don't teach that stuff anymore.
The ability to pick up the piece of paper and orientate it correctly.
They can't even do that.
No, north, south. Ask them north, south, east, and west.
This is what people rely on to get around nowadays.
But once again, what happens if somebody sets off that device up, that nuke device up in the atmosphere, and this thing goes black?
Yep.
What are you going to do then?
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do, but the rest of the country might be in trouble.
Well, I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I'm fine, but I know there's a lot of people out there that don't know a darn thing about reading maps or just where they even are. I mean, I can get around the tri-state area pretty darn well, and I'm fairly young, but I've done quite a bit of traveling. So, just reading signs.
Right.
I mean, it's actually pretty easy to find major cities, and then you can branch out from there.
Well, if you know where the major city is and located in the country,
north, south, east, or west.
Yeah, you can head in that direction. You'll run into something.
You'll hit something.
Yeah.
There was an insurance article here was posted out here. Most accidents happen within 3 minutes of a person's home.
Yeah.
There's like 78 or I think it was either 78 or 87. My dyslexia was kicking in.
Dyslexia.
Most people don't even travel outside of their metropolitan area.
Yeah.
Unless you're going on vacation to Hawaii or Cancun, and then other than that, they have no clue.
Yeah.
Walmart is the same in Ohio as Walmart is out there in Wyoming. The only difference is it's either groceries on this side and hardware here, or it's flipped. There's two models of Walmarts.
Right. Yeah, well, it's like McDonald's. You can go to any McDonald's, order the same stuff for the most part. They might have different tile inside there.
Europe's got a little bit more of an extensive menu on McDonald's, but you can get the same Big Mac anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, in Australia, you have to eat it upside down, but...
Mate.
That was a good one, Travis. That was a good one, dude.
The basic skills to, and I hate to say this, and this goes in the gun thing, and I don't. Everybody's hip on training, shooting your gun. Can you start a fire? If you're out in the middle of nowhere and you get dumped off, can you start a fire? Can you change your tire? Can you, can you? And I press people need to learn that stuff before they learn how to shoot a steel target.
Well, you know what I think is really interesting, being that I'm in the entertainment industry and being that's, kind of what we were talking about in the beginning is these people on TV, right, that can do all these things, the ones that we idolize, like the action heroes, they can build a fire, they can take care of themselves, they can shoot a gun, they can do all these things. And people like subconsciously worship that. They're like, oh my gosh, this is like the status of what a man should be. But then they never go out and learn it. They never actually follow up. Yeah, it's crazy.
They want to take it away from you.
Or they want to take it away. Right. They glorify it in the films that they make. You know, Tom Cruise and some of these guys are actual legitimate firearms experts. If you look at who's the guy in John Wick?
Keanu
Reeves.
Yeah.
This man is a savage on the gun range. Have you ever seen him doing like timed relays and stuff?
Yeah.
The guy's awesome, and they glorify him for it, but then they cry about it in the media. It's just so weird. It's so contradictory. Like, I don't understand it.
Well, the same thing, the opposite with Tom Selleck. You know, I'm gun, but, you know, he works at the NRA, and he wants to take your guns away.
Well,
Really?
Yeah.
I don't. Anyways, it's just a weird thing, you know. It's like instead of starting to get the basics, like you learn math, right? 1 + 1, 2 + 2. Then you work in the division, and so you work your way up. You don't start at the freaking top and just it's like
right,
without having any basis and any knowledge of the bottom part. It's like hiring somebody to work in your job that's going to be the CEO, but he's never taken out the garbage anywhere.
He can't even balance his own checkbook, and he wants to be CEO.
Right. Well, that's good. That brings up a good subject too. Like in colleges, they have these people teaching business who's never ran a business. So how can you?
They read a book on business.
Yeah. How can you tell me how to run a business when you never owned a business and you're driving an old Volkswagen? I mean, I don't get that. I know.
He's driving an old diesel Volkswagen and don't know how to change the spark plugs in it.
Oh, the spark plugs in the diesel. Yeah, you're white. Well, tell him to do it and see how long it takes for him to figure it out.
I pulled in the guard shack. We got a new kid. He's like 18, 19 years old. He checks your paperwork when you come in. He goes, "What do you got?" I said, "I got sailboat fuel." "What?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I just came out of Miami." I said, "Dude, it's fresh. I mean, it's like highly flammable. I need to go." He goes, "Really?" He said, "Well, how come you don't have any placards on it?" I said, "Well, you're breathing it right now. Do you feel lightheaded?" He had no clue what sailboat fuel was. Empty trailer for everybody else that don't know. So.
Yeah, that's kind of like in my industry, because we do a lot with like replacing lights and everything. So we tell everybody, hey, make sure you refill the blinker fluid.
There's some funny. Speaking of kind of the same thing. There's some video, a couple of them on YouTube, and these new guys in the Army in the motor pool. And on a Humvee, there's a wire that you pull out underneath the dash to lock the steering wheel. And they tell them that's the pull cord to start the Humvee. And you see this guy trying to pull the steel cable to get the Humvee to start. It's like, it's just a prank they play on them, It's like that.
Oh, yeah. I was artillery, and we used to get the valve stems and cut the ends of them off, and we would super glue them to the road wheels. And we'd get a new private in. "Hey, man, you got to go down to motor pool. Sorry, we want you to make sure you check the tire pressure before we go for the weekend." We'd give him an air gauge, dude, and he'd go, it's a 20-minute walk down to the motor pool. And he'd go down there, and I said, "Make sure you write them all down. We didn't need to know exactly what tire pressure each wheel's got." All right. He goes down there, like, I don't know, 2-3 hours later. He comes back and said, "Dude, they're all zero. They're all flat. But the rubber's that high. How can they not have and it's that far off?"
Jeez.
Oh, dude. They used to call me skater when I was in the Army, man. I got out of everything. I didn't have to do anything, man.
That's awesome.
I was a troublemaker.
But how do you get there? Where you get that way from you learn things. People.
It's passed down. I got caught. I'm not trying to be all the creator. Okay. I got caught too.
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, if we get back on course here.
Yes, it's 7:00, Travis. We got just a few more minutes. What do you got going on in the future? What's up?
So things to look out for. Definitely the Penitent Thief. That's coming out next Easter. Actually, Kevin Sorbo played Hercules. He's in that.
Oh, cool.
Right on.
So he's a great guy. Stelio Savante. This is like his 100th film project. The guy is just killing it right now. He's originally from South Africa. So that's a great movie to look out for. My own projects that I have coming out, that I'm working on and stuff like that, things that hopefully we can start production on in the next couple months here or in the coming months. But I'm just always working hard. I'm always grinding. I'll keep you updated. My Instagram is in the description. I think it may be wrong though. It's Travis_Conover.
That's what it says.
Okay. Is it? Okay. So yeah, follow me there, and on Instagram I usually keep things somewhat up to date. You can kind of figure out what I'm doing.
So Travis_Conover.
Conover, yeah.
All right, yeah, I don't have it right, but go ahead. I'll fix it right now.
That's okay. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. There's always a ton of stuff going on in the film industry, and every day I'm making new connections. I'm working with a stunt guy on this film. I'm really excited to work with him on the second half of the film that we're shooting. Arnold Chong. He did like the stunt choreography for like Pirates of the Caribbean and like Jack Reacher and like all these huge movies. I mean, the dude is unbelievable. So I'm really excited. Every time you do something, you make connections, and then if you work well with them, they want to hire you again. So these are people that I'm going to be hopefully working with in the very near future. So there's always stuff going on. There's always new developments, and your life can change kind of in a flash in this business. So I'm pretty excited for the future.
Hey, if you need some weird guns, or you need guns, or you have needs for guns, I'm always movie guns.
Warner's your man, Travis. I'm telling you what, I got a private tour of Safety Harbor Firearms when I was down there. Whatever you want, man can get or has.
Well,
seriously,
we're a Class 2 manufacturer, so I do machine guns, silencers, stuff like that. So if or if you just have a question about something you don't know, just send me. I'm on Instagram under Safety Harbor Firearms. So
let me ask you, what kind of certifications do you need? Or do you have like a safety instructor certification or anything like that?
Myself, no, just
okay. Because working in SAG, the rules are incredibly strict. So like the Screen Actors Guild is super strict. So if I were to use you for anything like that, like bring you on as a gun safety expert, you'd have to have certification. Okay. So yeah, so it's all about documents. You could be the
wants to
best
provide
in the world.
Product.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
No, that's all. I understand that stuff, and that's a union thing. So
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You got to jump through the hoops. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah.
So your union, do you pay like a great big huge like amount that's like ungodly? Is it really that bad for dues? I heard $10,000 a month.
What?
No, that's crazy. No.
That's crazy, man.
Your initial sign-on is a couple $1,000s, and then maybe a couple $1,000 a year, like $2,500 a year. But it's like $5,000 to sign on, $2,500 a year. It's not bad. You pay for that in one project.
Yeah.
If you're working fairly regularly, it's worth it. I also have I own C&M Entertainment, which I started years ago with Jimmy, who you know.
Right.
And then
shout out to Meat Hammer Deluxe, by the way.
Yeah, my gaming buddy, but he's also my best friend in real life too. We started in a production company called C&M Entertainment, and Captain and Meat Gaming was under that kind of that corporation. But we also do film production and stuff. He's on paper, he's my manager and stuff like that too. But also, I work I co-founded, I guess I should say, an airsoft company called Men of Valor Airsoft. And we take like teenagers and young adults and we teach them how to work as a team and to be a man, and basically mentoring the youth that we've been talking about on how to actually do the things that we've been talking about. So that is like my third business. I don't make any money on that, but it's a way for me to give back and to help people progress. So Men of Valor Airsoft or MOV Airsoft. You can go to the website movairsoft.com. You can sign up, join our team, and travel. And we do like big mill sims and stuff like that. It's a blast. It's some of the most fun you can have in your adult life, to be honest with you. Airsoft is freaking great. But there's
better.
Shooting real guns is always better, but you can't shoot them at each other, you know.
Not normally, no.
And I certainly,
water, not normally.
yeah, and I certainly don't want to get shot with a real gun.
No.
I'm not going to put myself in that situation. But airsoft's a really great outlet. It's great exercise, and it's really good for building camaraderie between men and building a team and stuff like that. So yes. I do a whole bunch of stuff. I'm also an ABC practitioner. I fix people's backs, kind of like a chiropractor. But you always got to keep moving, you know. So those are kind of the three businesses that I do. I work very hard at them, and you just keep grinding. You can do anything you want.
Yep.
As long as you get a haircut and look presentable.
Yeah.
Oh, I just speaking of that, the other day. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a little growth, but not like a wild man. You see the dude that was sued by his parents, a 30-year-old, to get him out of the house.
Yes.
That was amazing.
He looked like he just crawled out of a box.
Yeah.
And literally, he crawled underneath the pier out in L.A.
all overgrown and scraggly, and it's like, get a freaking haircut, dude. I mean, come on, man.
He's living in his mom and dad's house. He told the court that he's trying to get custody of his kid back. And they said, well, how can you get the custody of the kid if you're living with your parents and you don't have a job? Well, I have my parents to pay for everything.
Oh, no.
Your parents want you out of the house, dude. Don't you understand?
Yeah, I was listening to that going, it's like, can I stay a little longer? It's like, fuck, you've been there since you were 18. What are you talking about? Come on, man.
I just wonder, like, who breeds with that guy?
Yeah, that's the well, some other liberal, that doesn't eat meat. Well, I'm just saying I shouldn't say that, but anyways.
I know many kids when they turned 18, dude. It didn't matter, female, male, it did not matter. 18, join the military.
Yeah, or get out.
I didn't have to. I wasn't kicked out or nothing, but I wanted to get out because I wanted to have my own space, you know. So I got with some of my buddies and we rented a house and head out. You know, I mean, that's just the way it is. So, and I did make an appearance back home for a short period of time because somebody threw me out, but then
that's different. That's versus $500 a week for a hotel. Hey, Dad, can I stay in the spare bedroom for a week until I could find a place?
Yeah, it was longer than a week, but it wasn't years or anything like that. So, but then I met my wife, and that took care of that. So.
Yes, Peggy is awesome.
Yeah. There you go.
Are you back over New Jersey, or are you upstate again?
I'm in upstate New York right now. I got a little place up here near my family. My brother actually pastors a church like 2 minutes down the road, which is awesome. So I'm with my family. I just got an on-off-road motorcycle too.
Cool. Enduro. Yeah. In the old days, we called those enduros.
we still do. It's a KLR 650.
Oh, cool.
It's a 95, 2005, but it's in really good shape. And it's a blast. My brother has the same exact bike, 05 KLR 650. So we look like twins riding down the road. But we just go and we find trails anywhere we go, and we just rip off road. You know, it's so much fun.
That's cool.
So
that's an enduro, dude. If you want to make a road trip, dude, Wayne National Forest is right down here. I got a bedroom. Your brother and him all can stay down here, dude.
We're planning.
I got 50
on
pounds of binary X sitting out in the garage. I ain't set off yet.
We're planning on taking a road trip, just getting out, doing an adventure for like a week or two.
Come on down, dude. I'm only 7 hours from you.
Got my GoPro ready to roll. So
that's a movie.
That's a movie, man.
Yeah.
Adventure.
Well, I'll tell you what. You take the road trip. You come down. I got 2 bedrooms. Each one of you can have a bedroom. And then I'll take you down to gun range. We'll blow up a car or something. Like I said, I got 50 pounds of binary X. Walter's got some toys coming to me, so we can arrange something. And
we should do it.
You guys can make a road trip back up New York, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, call me.
Mm-hmm. Make America explode again.
There you
go. Before we take off out of here, what do you think of the Prez? What's your thoughts on the president?
Talking to me?
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, Travis. Yeah.
No. So when Trump was first running, I thought it was a publicity stunt.
A joke again, right?
Yeah. To be honest, I thought he was joking. or at least didn't expect to win, just wanted to stir the pot, because that's kind of how he is. He's very controversial by nature. He's an alpha male. I think those are the things we like about him so much. And at first, I was like, man, this guy needs somebody to run his Twitter because he's acting like a jackass. I think he would have been taken much more seriously if he had a professional PR team that was actually monitoring all his stuff. I think the hate that he gets is his own device. Yeah, I think he's a victim of his own Twitter account, to be honest with you, because until he ran for president, everyone loved Trump. Even if you thought he was a bit of a jackass and kind of a bit of a jerk, everyone loved the guy, and he was a massive celebrity. And as soon as he opposed the left, who he had been working with for years, he got so much hate. But look, I always say this, right? I would rather have a guy that has good intentions and makes mistakes than have somebody else with bad intentions who's constantly successful, like the last administration or the other administration that potentially could have gotten in. So I like Trump's ideas. I like what he's doing. I don't always like him personally, but I think that his mind and heart are in the right place a lot of the time.
I said way before the election, the first guy that shows up on the scene who's not apologizing every 5 minutes for everything he does, he will win. Because people are tired of all this wishy-washy. I didn't mean that. I misspoke. I'm sorry. You're not sorry. You said it.
Right.
Exactly.
If you said it, then
mean what you say.
Fess up to it. Trump doesn't apologize.
Yep.
Does he apologize for anything? No. He doesn't care. He didn't need their money, so they didn't have the little. They didn't have him.
Yeah. You can't dangle a carrot.
They didn't have him like a puppet, so he can get on Twitter and go, "Ba ba 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 ba." No one's going. No. Democrat, Republican strategist is going. You can't say that. Say anything I want.
Yeah, exactly.
I can say anything I want.
What are you gonna do?
Right. And look what. He wins, and he wins. Yeah. He wins with a decent margins, and he's pulling in people that normally don't vote for him.
Yes, and like I said, I don't agree with everything he does. Or
he's kind of he spouts off. He does what you'd want to do. Just say what's on your mind.
He just does it because when you're a billionaire, you do whatever the hell you want.
You don't care.
He's got that screw you money.
Yeah, he does.
You ever hang out with, like, say, my grandfather? He wasn't bad, but if he saw a cute girl, he said, "Hey, you're about," and he just started flirting with her. Yeah. It wasn't because he was mean or anything like that. He just didn't care. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean,
I think that was part of the appeal of Trump. Also, was the fact that it's something fresh and new, and it's not another politician coming in.
It's not a crybaby whining and crying because it's snowing outside and worrying about global heating.
I didn't mean to say that to you. I'm so sorry.
That's the thing. Politicians just have this air of being liars about them. So that's I think was part of the appeal for Trump was hey, he's not a politician,
and he's still doing it, and people still like it, and he doesn't play that typical political crap.
Right. Mike Bryan in the comments says right there, no apologies.
That all these both sides do. They both do it. The Democrats do it, and they do really. I mean, some of these Democrats, this stuff is coming out now. You talk about Hollywood, and you talk about Weinstein and that stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff going on in Hollywood goes way worse than Weinstein. With kids and stuff like that, and what they would call what is it now? It's prostitution now. They call what's the word they use for that?
Trafficking.
Trafficking and human trafficking.
Yeah, it's huge. The film that I wrote addresses it. Actually, that's a big part of it. Is human trafficking. The hero film that I wrote.
Profession known to mankind.
Right, and not with paid adults, but with kids and this, that, and the other. And that's trafficking, and that's just coming out. And some of the stuff in the Democratic Party that send these politicians are really bad. But it's suppressed. It's so suppressed. I don't know if you're ever going to hear about it, really. So it's
like right now they're saying there was no spy in Trump's. It was an informant. Look, it was a spy. Oh my God, really?
Yeah. Well, so once again,
I don't know.
That goes into that same routine. I misspoke.
Yeah.
The plausible deniability.
You lied, or what? Why does it misspoke?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Well,
I misspoke. I misspoke. I did.
She misspoke. She misspoke on me, Willie. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
What was it that he said? I didn't exhale.
Yeah.
I didn't inhale. Didn't inhale. But yeah. So it's just this. That's why people like Trump, is because he just says what's on his mind, and if you don't like it, well,
Tough shit.
too bad. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
like how he's trying to bring back a little bit of honor and dignity and
well, that's too. He respects the military.
I wish he would be a little bit more to getting our rights back.
Well,
I wish he would address that. Everything else, hey, you know, I don't have a problem with it.
I think
I watched the addressment of the soldiers he did the other day.
Right.
Oh, great,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's great.
The Second Amendment people had, I believe, too high expectations, to be quite honest with you.
Yes,
They
from the
thought he
start.
was going to come in and all of a sudden rainbows were coming out and the unicorns would appear and everything else would just be, you know, everybody singing and dancing. And there's actually bigger things to do, to be quite honest.
Yes.
There's bigger problems going on than reciprocity, and things like that. So sometimes you got to just, I hate to say it and I'll get criticized, but you got to be patient. So, you know.
That's right.
Not going to say it's going to all happen, but you have to be patient. So.
That's all good. Well, hey, guys, not being rude, great conversation tonight. We're going to go right down the road there, and Travis will pick you up last.
Okay.
Grills and Guns, what you got going on tonight?
Well, tonight, just this right now so far, but
Couch potato status?
probably might be playing a little World War II, maybe.
Okay.
But for the future, hopefully I'm going to do a little bit more work with Philip in the VCDL. I got some things planned with Jordan in the GOA. I'm going to try to do some stuff with that there.
Cool.
Also got some upcoming videos that I'm going to be producing of my own production.
There you go.
One
I
of
saw
them,
the one where you pulled out the banana and it was supposed to be in a gun. Like, oh, sorry.
yeah. Yeah, that was the one for this right here.
Nice.
So I got another video. I'm kind of going to go back a little bit of the more entertaining side. I've been getting a little too serious for some time on some of my videos where, you know, that's not kind of how I started. I started more for entertainment and kind of laughing a little bit. But I do have a video on mine that's going to be basically a silent video with music in the background. But it's going to be...
Wait a minute. A silent video with music in the background?
Well, no speaking.
That's a jumbo shrimp.
No
there
speaking.
you go.
Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Double entendre.
So it's going to be kind of something that hopefully that'll, you know, kind of impacting a little bit. But I also got some funny things planned for the future as well in the videos. You know, get back to the, you know, making people laugh kind of thing. But also with the whole getting the Glock 19 for Mike Bryant, I went ahead and decided to change it over and do a GoFundMe on there, just so if people only want to make the one-time donation, it's a little bit easier than going on Patreon and making a one-time donation and having to delete your pledge afterwards. So that's a bit of a pain in the ass, but I will leave the Patreon page going too, because I want to do some things with that where I give back. The way I look at it is I want to go with every time I reach $1,000 increment, I want to do a $250 gift card giveaway for somebody to use however they need it. You know, not just, you know, that's why I don't want to give away a gun or ammo or anything like that. I'll give you a $250 gift card. And if you got a bill you got to pay, you know, you're hitting on hard times, you need some food, it's your choice to do with it what you want. So, you know, I mean, it's all thanks to everybody out there, you know, that would, you know, support me and help me keep going and doing what I'm doing. So I figured that would be a good way to give back to people, you know, and show them that I really do appreciate it.
Just go and tell everybody your cell phone like Hank did. We'll call you.
I'm not quite ready for that yet because I work too many hours during the week. So
Yeah.
you can always reach me through my through YouTube and hit me up with comments. Yep.
Your Grills and Guns' link is down there as well.
Okay. Cool.
So you can reach me through Facebook too. I got the Grills and Guns Facebook group. So I mean, you can find that. It's a public group now, so you can find that up on Facebook, and you know, we can PM there or whatever. You know, I'm more than happy to talk with people. So
All right,
deal.
cool.
Good deal. Walter, Mr. Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms.
What's
By
up?
the way, what Tuesday? Can you show mine? Is mine done? Did you get all the engraving and everything done?
I'm working on it. It's on the docket. It's on the docket. Yep.
I just want to see it because it's going to be 8 months before I can get it. I just want to see it. I just want to see it.
Yeah, you have to come back to Florida and fondle it before you.
Oh my God! It cost me $1,100 last time I came to Florida.
Hey, Tyvin, let me do a little hint here. It's cheaper to fly.
Yeah, we already agreed on that. We're doing that next time.
Way
You don't have to worry about your gas tank falling off.
Yeah, he had a bad experience. So.
Yeah, my gas tank fell out of my truck, Travis.
Oh,
Fans
good,
on the
good.
tank rusted right there in Clearwater.
30 gallons of diesel fuel.
Line. So I had this county and this county, all of the fire trucks, all of the hazmat teams, and about 20 cops all surrounded to clean up 30 gallons of fuel on the road, dude.
Did you get a bill?
Gosh.
You didn't got a bill, have you?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, what am I doing? Right after we get done here, I'm going to get something to eat. And then this weekend, I'm going to go see that new Star Wars movie. Solo with my wife and son in the morning, and then I'm going to work on one of my military vehicles tomorrow afternoon and relax. So
My military vehicle.
You going to get the tank done?
tank. Oh, you mean I don't have it? I got an APC. That's like a
APC. Okay, it's a tank.
okay. It's got wheels. It's
On wheels.
It's got wheels. I collect military vehicles, Travis, too. So that's one of the things. So,
That's very nice.
but anyways, that's what's going on and making the guns and Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. So, just staying busy.
Good deal.
Yep.
Good deal. All right, there, Mr. Travis Conover. Let us know what you got going on and how everybody can get a hold of you. And personally, thank you for coming and hanging out, dude. It's always an honor, and I appreciate you doing it.
Yep.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. Really had a blast, and it was awesome meeting you guys. I guess this is considered meeting in the 21st century.
Yeah.
Sure is.
But hopefully we can all get together and shoot something someday.
Yeah.
But today I am pretty much done with what I got to do, which is nice. So I got to go make some dinner, and I'm exhausted. I went hiking this week, and I've been doing like an hour of exercise every morning and stuff like that.
Stay in shape, man.
Did a ton of stuff. I'm actually preparing for that role, so I got to be
Fit.
ripped.
That's something I always get about male actors, and nothing bad about it. Like, when you see the guys, the Marvel characters and stuff like that, and they're all like, they're buff and stuff. It's like that's their existence.
Yeah,
they have to be that way. It's not a choice you make. You have to play the part. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any desire to be in the action genre, you got to be ripped, and there's
It's a competitive field. I mean, there's a lot of young bucks out
I
there.
guess it leaves me out.
Yeah, so there's a lot. It's like an athlete, like athletic field. There's somebody waiting to fill your shoes. That's working just as hard.
You gain that 5 pounds, you're out next.
Well, that's why you have to play the game to a certain extent,
right?
And that's all part of the game. But it's also the way you present yourself and the way you treat people is what gets you your next job. But if they call you and you're not ready, you're off. You're off the air. And so you always got to be ready and stuff like that. And admittedly, I've let myself slack and nearly missed opportunities because of it, or even missed opportunities because of it. So it's one of those learning experiences. So, I've been working out real hard every day for about an hour, eating literally just chicken and vegetables, or, I do have bacon and stuff sometimes, but just meat and vegetables. I do barely any carbs, no sugar. So it's not always fun, but I do feel a lot healthier. And it shows, physically, obviously, as well, which is nice. But so I've been doing a lot of that, hitting that hard. But tonight I'm probably just going to hang out and watch a movie. That's all I want to do.
Get a pizza, man. Treat yourself. It's a holiday weekend.
Right. I'll do some barbecuing on Monday for sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, Tyvan, what are you doing this? What's up with you, man?
Yeah,
are you going to be gaming tonight? Can I? Will I see you gaming later on, or what?
Actually, depending, I was looking outside. I think me and the wife's gonna go out and have a bonfire and drink a beer.
Oh, okay.
I might do some gaming tonight, but hey, Travis, you got to get PUBG Mobile. It is so fun. It's so addictive. It is, dude. It's awesome. But we're probably gonna do GTA 5 tomorrow. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. Hardcore. It's at theTIVANshow on Twitter. But got the truck fixed. Her truck is still acting up. Just got the one lawnmower fixed. Dude, my grass was 18 inches high. Oh, God. Well, the other lawnmower still broke down. So I've got things to do, things to fix. And being a truck driver and being gone, man, my time, I've got to micromanage just to get anything done. But I'm slowly, I fell behind a little bit. I'm picking back up. So we're going to try to go to the gun range Monday, shoot some videos with some guns and stuff. I want to get back to the gun range. I haven't been back since winter. I've been doing so much that I really haven't had time to do anything other than what we did down in Florida.
Yep.
Those videos will be out within the next week and a half or so. I still got some final editing to do. So make sure you check me out, The Tivan Show on YouTube. All my links and social media is down in the description too, below. And check out Big Daddy Guns. The link's there to help you guys out, save some water bucks.
Yep.
All of Phil's stuff from our first guest and Travis's information is also down in the description, so make sure you guys check them out as well. So that's it. Just maintaining.
Awesome.
I'm wanting to go blow something up.
Last question for you guys.
Yeah.
Are you getting Black Ops 4?
No.
I probably will.
I think it looks great.
I've had all the Call of Duties right down the line, so I'll probably still get it regardless.
It looks great to me. This is the one I'm most excited for in the last probably 4 years.
Here's why I'm not getting it. They ain't gonna fix the lag in the games. All right. They're screwing the hardcore community again.
Oh.
4 game modes. That's it, dude. And the I'm trying to think what they call it, where it's one guy and 99 people and you fight to the death.
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. It's not
Blackout.
hardcore. There's
Right.
no hardcore for it.
No, there's no hardcore.
Yeah, they only ever have a limited hardcore.
Hardcore Tivan.
If they would just fix the lag in the game, I would not have a problem, dude. I'm done with the lag. I'm tired of the bullcrap. I'm not buying microtransactions. I'm not buying all this other DLC, which is supposed to be free this time, supposedly what they say. So everything will be free, but no, I ain't buying it until I see the wife play it. She'll get it, and if I don't see any problems, well then I'll buy it. But as of right now, no.
All right, well, that's it for me.
Yep.
If you're up on PS4 there, Travis, you can find me. I'm Smexy Scott.
Yeah, I'll definitely connect with you on there. No doubt.
Yeah.
And by the way, big shout out to Meat Hammer Deluxe. I know he's going to watch this, so he's also a good friend.
Yes.
And, the three of us there, so Meat, I got your back, brother. But real quick, let's do a shout out of the comments, guys. We really neglected everybody that was in the comments and not reading names off. So I'll read a few off, and then Walter, and then Gorillas you get to do, and then Travis you get to roll it off for the end. Go like 5 names. Action Enormous, Mike Bryant. Get put it down real quick, love. Justin B, Watchdog, Blackword Spin OBI. Okay. And then there's Safety Harbor Firearms. Go ahead.
There we are.
Next.
Oh, me too. Oh, I'll go. Let's see how good I do it. Music Lover, Jump Killer QX, Black Shinobi, whatever the hell let's see here. South MD Harley Rider. I'm trying to get some ones we haven't done before. Richard Harper, Watchdog. Apple Bite, is that what that is, or something on that? It's not, somebody else do, because I'm not good at this. So,
Go ahead, girls.
Rex Allen, Justin E, Watchdog. It looks like it says Black Sword Shinobi.
Yeah,
Shinobi. Yeah, I got it wrong.
Let's see. Let me scroll up a little bit. Pixamite 1, Music Lover, Jumpy Killer QX.
Tacos and French fries, awesome.
Yeah, tacos and French fries. Yeah, he's
Great
good,
name.
dude.
I didn't see Big Dick Willie in the comments.
Big Dick.
That's actually his name, Travis. Big Dick Willie in the comments.
And don't forget Mike Bryant. He's I don't care how many times you can say his name 100 times.
Okay.
Travis, just give us 2 or 3 there real quick, bub, and we're going to wrap it up, man.
All right. Generic username. It's got like 300 numbers, so I'm not going to say the whole thing. Richard Harper, 817 LDS, Black Sword, Watchdog. Thank you guys. Richard, Hamburger Helper. Look at that one.
Hamburger Helper.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Hamburger Helper's a good dude.
Thanks for having me. Steve, Mike, all you guys.
All right. Jazz hands for the go. Jazz hands for the go. Let's go. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming, hanging out, watching. All the links are in the description below. Check everybody out. Thank you. I think Hank will be back Tuesday-ish because Monday's a holiday.
Tuesday.
Okay. So, and I think Wednesday will be the 200th episode. So stay tuned. I might be wrong. So later, everybody.